absent from here.
He will be here shortly.
He will be here shortly, okay. It looks like the only agenda item on the only agenda item we have is the 2020 highway plow truck bid. I understand we've got a 2009 International, and Jay's here, that needs to be replaced. I read through the problems you've been having with it. Indicated you spent $22,000 in repairs this year at the dealership, or over the time you've had it recently. $3,200 spent on in-house and repairs. So it's clearly sounds like it's time to go. Time to.
I believe so. Yes.
For the public's benefit, I don't know how many people have this, but the plan is to keep the 2004 Sterling plow truck as a spare. The trade-in is the 2009, right?
Right.
The 2004 as a spare, as I was saying, it's got a new body that was installed this year. It's a non-emission truck. Sounds like it's pretty reliable, and the costs should be pretty minimal to that. Two new Freightliners have been purchased the last 2 years and been trouble-free. They both have a 5-year warranty on the transmission, plus electrical wiring warranty, and neither has been back to the dealership yet. Which, and this is the same type of truck that's coming from of those two that you recently listed from. So the price tag is $138,926, which includes the trade-in and a warranty included. And based on, you had 3 bids, I think, right? And this was the low bid of the 3. With if you place the order, the delivery would be in October to get the chassis.
Yes.
The chassis would be delivered in October, and the body would be built another 2 months later.
That's the reason we're talking to you now. But we're trying to get it done because of availability.
Jay, could you come up to the microphone, please?
It might be next July before we would see something come in if we were to wait until July to order.
So conceivably, you'd have this by December.
Right. The last ones we've ordered in around July or just before, we haven't seen them to actually use them until January.
Okay.
So, I mean, half of our winter season's over before the truck comes in. So we're just trying to get it jumped. We don't have to pay for it until we take delivery, so it's not like there'll be any early costs or anything. It's just a matter of getting approval to order.
And this is coming out of capital improvement funds?
Yes.
We've got plenty, obviously, in the account.
The proposal is a 3-year payment. We've got one that's coming off that we did a few years ago. We did a 3-year. We would do a 3-year loan that levels out our contribution to our reserves annually, instead of having one, big lump and then nothing. We have a more level and allow us to replace equipment. This vehicle has, it's my understanding, since it was purchased, been an issue, and it's related to the emission system that is part of the engine. So it's not simply something that we can put a body on, that we could do something to. The town didn't purchase a warranty when they initially purchased it, and it's this particular engine type, and the town has 3 of them. Has had issues practically from day one. This is the worst one. But so the idea of them coming before July or August to start this process is in the hopes that we don't have to touch that truck again. Because if it starts to snow, it would need to be a usable vehicle, and may have to spend money, and that's not the desire. We've put enough into it at this point, but.
So the other 2 you just mentioned, are those the other 2 internationals that
Yes.
are the same type?
Yeah, they were supposedly the next step in the company's shot at trying to meet emissions, and they failed. And we've had literally all three of the trucks have had some issues. This particular truck, we had issues from the first month we had it. The first winter, I think we put 2,000 miles on the truck the entire winter. The rest of the time was, and a lot of those miles were on the hook being dragged back to the dealership to get worked on. And I mean, the first year we had it, we barely even used it. I mean, they kept warrantying it for that first year, but what good is a vehicle if you can't use it, you know?
Yeah.
So, we'd like to get away from that.
And the company is Freight, I should have mentioned that Freightliner of Maine is the company purchasing.
Yes,
So,
out of Bangor.
comments, Paul? Any other?
I just got a quick question. I'm looking at highway equipment reserve. Is this something that you came up with, or is this old, or is this?
Some of it was already in place, and I've tacked the last couple of years on, you know, looking at what needs or potential for the
Because
future.
when we're talking about refinancing for 3 years, and I'm just looking down through this, we've got 2 new sidewalks machines in the 4 years.
Yes, we've always had two, and we replaced one of them with that new style machine that we tried a year or so ago. And we kept the oldest one as a spare or a second machine because it was actually kind of the same situation. It was actually more reliable than the newest one we had, and we were sinking money constantly now. So this one is pretty close to it. It's usable life, and so that's why we put it in the schedule to replace that one. This new one we had just got, we've been using it exclusively because it works great, but it was half the price of replacing the old style machine, so we threw it into the schedule to get replaced so we can rotate it and get more life out of that first one we bought and not be using it as a primary.
We're using that machine year-round, though.
We
That-
are.
That isn't just...
We use it for everything. I mean, we that's what we've been using to push that new machine we bought for all the shoulder work, and it's doing the job. It's close to the maximum of what it's designed to do, but it's doing it, and we've been getting an awful lot out of it and getting a lot done. So we really haven't had any issues with that, with the sidewalk machine.
The street sweeper that's listed here on this, that's a guesstimate, and Jay and Matt are looking at alternative options to buying a new street sweeper for here because the community's needs have changed somewhat since when the mill was in operation and you had a lot of trucks that were going through all the time. The street sweeper was used a whole lot more than it is now. We still use it to clean our catch basins and things, which are a requirement of our stormwater life. You know, we're required to do those things. But they're looking into how when our machine dies, what our most cost-effective option is moving forward, and that $300,000 a placeholder if we were to go out and buy a new one, but there's not a plan at this point to recommend doing that.
And again, I'm getting in the budget weeds, and I apologize, but I just got to. So is that recommended $85,000 every year include the $300,000 street sweeper?
This number up here at the top is an old number, not a current number, but
Okay.
we contribute or have pretty much between $100,000 and $150,000 annually into Public Works Reserve, and that covers the rotating debt service for the vehicles that we've bought instead of buying one and wiping it out, that have bought them over time. One was 5 years and the rest have been 3-year purchases. So that in order to accomplish this, we're still in the same $100,000 to $150,000 annually going in, but that's built into the budget. It's not an increase over what we've done.
And you said that
prior.
covers the debt service.
That covers the debt service and also allows for somewhat of a cushion in case we have an instance where we've had to spend $25,000 for repairs to a vehicle, and that kills the repair budget for the department, and they have to utilize some out of reserve to.
When do you see the next replacement need for one of these others that are, the
Another big plow
big truck,
truck.
yeah? Does that come?
23.
Yeah, it would be another 2 years beyond.
That would be the 2009, the other 2009, or is that the
It
2012?
would be a 12.
12, yeah.
Yeah. We've been running a 10-year cycle as long as I can remember on a truck. It hasn't always worked out. I mean, we run into instances like this where that last year we keep it is a year too long, and we ended up investing a lot of money in pretty significant repairs of things that wear out. And, you know, that 25,000 that we've invested, that's a year's payment
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
on something, you know, it's pretty significant.
Any other questions? Anybody in the public?
Yeah. The 2004 Sterling that you said you're going to be keeping, I see that it presently has 129,000 miles on it. Now, normally that would have been replaced in 2014. It would be a 10-year-old vehicle at that time. And you plan to keep it until 2003, according to this. Is it going to be able to last that, or are we going to be looking at another truck sometime between now and then?
We think it's going to. This one is the older technology without all the emissions and all that stuff on it. And we have not had any of the issues that these newer ones have had. Plus, up in here, like in 16, where it said new body for 2003, that was that.
That was the body that was put on this. I read that in another place.
Yeah. So that, all the chassis, everything is very good condition.
Okay.
It just has more miles.
Yeah. I just had a concern because, like you said, the 10-year was the increments,
Right.
and this one's way
This
past
one's
that already.
very reliable.
Normally, that 2009 would go to the spare that 2004 is.
Yeah, I read all that.
And we're just having so many problems with the 9 that it's not going to work.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything? Okay, thanks, Jay. Make a motion, anybody want to make a motion to adjourn? That's all we have, unless there's anything else on the...
Is there a motion to recommend to
Oh,
the,
Oh, okay, we need
council,
one coming out of here, sorry. So we'll
this is on the agenda
That's right.
as a,
need a motion to recommend the purchase of the 2020 vehicle.
So,
Second, we've got a motion, and we've got a motion made, a second. All in favor? All right, take a motion to adjourn.
so.
Second.